Zach.
Yes, Jules.
Would you date someone that has spent time in prison?
No. Controversial, yeah, but no. I've had that experience. Both of us having it.
Too much?
Too much for me. What about you?
Oh, wow.
Would you be with someone who spent time in prison?
Yeah. You know, I've spent time in prison. I can't judge them for that. Yeah.
I'm not judging.
Fair enough. But yeah, I would.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey guys, it's Zak and Jules back with you for another episode of Life After Prison. So today is all about a big topic, and that is romantic relationships. So we're going to do a couple episodes on this topic. But today we're going to focus on what it's like for someone on the outside to have a partner on the inside.
Yeah, since doing this podcast, we've had loads of people messaging us on our socials about this very topic. We kind of touched on it in a previous episode and we got a great response. So we thought, why not? Since we haven't had a deep dive into it, let's delve into it on this very episode.
And we've heard so much, you know, when we've been inside, hearing about relationships when we're inside, and then, you know, again on the out, but with partners inside. Yeah. We're going to kick it off with you guys. So we asked you, have you got a partner on the inside? And if so, what are the challenges?
Deep question.
Deep question. And, you know, it's going to have deep responses because it is deep. Yeah. But we had some great responses. Somebody said, living and dealing with life alone, I do think it's harder for us on the outside, as selfish as that sounds.
It's not selfish.
Agreed, not selfish.
It's not selfish. It is harder. I can't remember who we was talking with on a sit down, but they were saying that it's not, the difficulty is not us doing our sentence, it's our family members going through it. It's their situation that is really hard.
You said harder. We don't know. Okay, because it is super hard for that person inside as well. True. But it's definitely not selfish, and it's definitely not easier or harder. Like, I think it's both super tough. Yeah. And I feel like it's not selfish to feel that way. I think it's selfish for someone on the inside to have someone waiting for them. That's just my opinion. Don't shoot me. Yeah. So it's tough, you know? Yeah, and hearing what they said about dealing with life alone, like, that makes me so sad. It's super emotional when you have to deal with life alone anyway, but when you're not with your partner, like... Yeah.
It's double hard, and it's double difficult.
Yeah, you haven't got your person.
Next person says that you have ups and downs all the time and you never know what to expect.
Yeah, emotional roller coaster, isn't it?
You're on the ride. You know, it can be fun, it can be a blast, and it can be scary, it can be nervous.
I think because you haven't got that, like, right, I know where you are, I'm texting you, like, we're in communication, like... Not even just that, but you know where you stand, like out here a little bit more. When you're in there, like you've literally got a tiny window to speak to somebody. You have no idea what they're doing through the day. In
comparison to what it used to be or what you're used to, like conversations all day or spending time together, that's reduced a lot.
So not knowing what to expect. Yeah. And what else do they say?
And that they have ups and downs all the time.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Because you know what it is? It's emotional turbulence. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you could be really happy. Sometimes you could have a really bad day. And you know what I mean? And it's just that whole...
Or like thinking really positive about it. This is working. This is fine. This is good. We got this. To, you're not here. I feel lonely. I'm sad.
Exactly.
It's bad.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
That's the roller
coaster. It's like one extreme to the other, isn't it?
It's the roller coaster, isn't it?
But that's what it's like in prison. It's like one extreme to the other, how you're feeling. It's like, oh my God, I got this. And then it's like, oh my God, no, you don't.
Precisely.
So they're feeling that on the out as well. Oh, it's a lot. Yeah. So somebody else said missing the phone calls. This makes me sad. Not being able to contact them straight away when you have news or need them.
The worst part of prison. Frustrating. You're eager to tell someone something, but like, you know, they're either working, so you can't contact them at that time, or for some reason it's a lockdown, so you can't get out to use the phone if there's no phones in the cell. So like that contact, and they're out there thinking, why hasn't this person called me? And
if you miss the phone calls, how heartbreaking is that?
Because you know, some jails, like, you got to wait 15 minutes to make another call if you've hit voicemail. So it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And that person could be holding the phone waiting.
Yeah. Like, it's awful, isn't it? But I feel like also, like, even yesterday, I rung somebody, like, as soon as I needed to speak to them, I rung them, yeah? And they could pick up. Yeah, they could pick up and they're speaking. But imagine, like, you haven't got that. So you've got all of this stuff, like, building up and you haven't got your people to speak to straight away. Especially
if it's some good news that you want to share as well.
That's the best.
Yeah, man. Definitely. So yeah, our final message was, someone said, yes, I feel like I'm serving this sentence too, and that my life has also been halted.
Yeah, we've always said this, haven't we?
Life on pause.
You're both dealing with a sentence, really.
Yeah, you are, and that's where I come to talk about selfishness. That's just my experience. Again, that like they're going through it as well. They're doing a sentence, but they're free. Do you know what I'm saying? They're on the outside. It's a different way of living. It's a different lifestyle. And to have someone on the inside, and you're kind of mirroring their emotions and their challenge, but you're not in the same environment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's another dynamic. It's a tricky dynamic.
Super tough. Like everything that everybody has said, like, yeah, thank you so much for sharing all of that and for being 100%. So open and honest. There's so much emotion that goes in with this. And, you know, this is why we really wanted to do this episode, is because there's other people out there feeling the way you're feeling, and you're not alone with it, even though sometimes you're probably feeling so alone because it's probably your partner that you go to with this alone feeling and they're going through it too. So yeah, it's a lot. So thank you so much. As well as all of these incredible messages, we also got voice notes. So we are going to hear from Eleanor and her emotions and a little bit about her journey.
Hi guys, my husband's currently on remand in prison, been in there now coming up to a year. I think on a selfish part, it's actually harder for the families on the outside. Although yes, it's hard for them on the inside. I think having to cope with life in general and such a massive 360 turn, you know, dealing with the home, the children, emotions, learning to live without a partner, learning to go to bed alone, learning to kind of not have that person where you can lean on and ask their opinion about stuff. That's the hardest. I think you kind of, your coping mechanism just goes into autopilot. I think that's, for me, that's what I've done.
Oh, thanks, Eleanor. Appreciate that. And yeah, there's a lot of valid points there, man.
Yeah. That sounds super tough. And I think when it comes to romantic relationships, that's love. And when love is separated, there's just so much involved in that.
Yeah, and it's just the day-to-day stuff that's really hard, well, difficult to navigate, you know. Eleanor said she's on autopilot because she's not used to not having her partner there, her husband there.
And how many things she's got to do. The kids, you know, not having somebody to come home to at night, and
decision making, you know, someone to like bounce off, you know, ideas or
like that's what
solutions.
Like single people go through this, but
when you're used to being a team.
Well, yeah. So single people understand why they don't have their partner there. Yeah. They're single, right? They either love it, they don't want it, they're trying to find a partner, whatever. Yeah. But when you are with someone and then that's separated, that's completely different.
And it's marriage as well, it's her husband, you know what I'm saying? So that must be extra tough. And they got kids. So that's a whole nother element on top of that.
And you don't want anyone else. You just want that person.
You want your person, yeah.
Oh, Eleanor, thank you so much for sending that in.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's super tough. That's why we wanted to discuss it and like let other people know that they are not the only person feeling like this. So you're helping a lot of people. Thank you very much.
100%.